So we are now in round 3. So we're the midway points of group stage, and Yo and Margougou have not had the start that they would have wanted. Margougou has 1 win after 2 rounds. He is in desperate need of victories. And then Yo just has 2 wins after 2 rounds. He is also in need of victories. Both these players matched up against someone who just looked way too dominant for them. Margougou, he got swept by Leary 3-0, and then Yo got swept by Sebastian. And, you got to avoid the sweeps in TTL, and you definitely need to get set wins. So at least in Margougou's case, he's going to be looking for set wins. It doesn't necessarily get much easier for him. Dragonstar has looked great. Dragonstar is at 3 wins after 2 rounds. So it feels like right now at the bottom of the group, we got Margougou, Yo, and Dragonstar. And then we've got the other 3 at the top. Margougou has gone for the Japanese here on Evacuation. And it's good Civ, very flexible Civ, especially good with the aggression. And then we've got the Armenians for Yo. And I would kind of expect similar things here from Yo in terms of the opening. They're also very flexible. They can utilize the mule cart. Look at that. Look at that, dude. Really squeezing that mule cart into that wood line. That's crazy, man. He put that mule cart in reverse, used the rear view mirror, and just backed right up. That is a parking spot for the mule cart. Anyways, got a little too distracted by that. Both players have played this map and lost on it. Margougou lost against Dragonstar. Yo lost against Dragonstar. And then Yo also lost against Sebastian. So this has not actually been a great map in terms of victories for these two so far, which is kind of interesting. So I guess that trend will change after this game. One of these two will have a win. Margougou. Okay. All right. He had that good to go. So initially, the Japanese are better at the start because they have the cheap lumber camps, cheap mining camps, cheap mills, and they have the strong fishing ships. I would say once eco upgrades start to fly in, and once some of these lumber areas just disappear, that's where the Armenians become very strong. So you really have to use your timings well here if you're the Japanese. The great cow wars of evacuation have begun over here. So Yo using that scout to scout around. I think Margougou had a couple cows, and Margougou's now going to get those cows. I think he realized they were taken from him and that they would be going that way. And now it's not Margougou, it's Marmoo. No. I'm sorry. I really should have just committed, but that was bad. I really couldn't accept those words coming out of my mouth. But hey, guys, listen, we just started the stream, okay? Lower your expectations. Your expectations are simply too high. Lower your expectations. And if you just get those expectations a little bit lower, it's going to be a great stream today. It'll be a great time, I promise you. Wow, shout out to the people using the Cow's Row emote we have as a leftover from Hidden Cup. It is a cow with Cosrow's crown. Wow. That is some next level nerding right there to immediately know to use that emote. Now, something that Dragonstar did against both these players, which is kind of crazy, they both played against Dragonstar and lost here, is he walled on the starting area. And I think that it became very difficult for Yo and very difficult for Margougou to get the proper damage they wanted. So I can already tell Margougou's thinking about it. Basically, if you wall here, yeah, then any land presence can't just pass through to the outside area. Also, a tiny thing I noticed, Margougou, we're well beyond that now, but Margougou brought in his rhinos really quick here. He brought them in like right away. He did find some extra cows. He's got some vills evacuating. Yo was able to find some additional cows as well. Yo's on the way up. And there's maybe one map in this map pool where scouting's more important. That would be Cross. Hybrid maps are just... Scouting is the key. I personally think hybrid maps are peak Age of Empires 2. There's pros and cons to every decision. You can't just assume what your opponent's going to do. You have to actively scout the map instead of push deer. But that's a whole nother thing we don't need to really get into. Always been a big options guy. Big hybrid guy. And there's Yo's scout here. Yo will see the vills. Yo will understand that that's probably for a lumber camp, especially because he's doing the same with the mule cart here. And then Margougou, double checking to see what's up. He sees the dock, so he knows about that. And he's looking now at the front of the base, and he's looking to see, will my opponent have a barracks? because he's going for a barracks. And now here's Yo. Guys, anytime someone complains about deer pushing on Arabia or something, you just remember these moments. Like hybrid maps and the need for scouting is really what's going to push you away from some of that standard boring Dark Ages. But hybrid maps are also extremely difficult and extremely annoying. And a lot of people don't like difficult and annoying, and so they're never going to play them. But anyways, I digress. Big fan of this map, as you can tell. Margougou's scout took some damage against a villager earlier, so it was a bit weaker here, but he does get to the hill. Oh, this is really close. This is really close, and what? Wow, I'm surprised that Margougou got the final kill there with that hit. It must have been 6 HP, and he had a slight hill there. Margougou gets the kill. We were just talking about the scout and how important that is. Now, Yo did see the barracks was coming up, so he'll know his opponent is on range. Now, you only have so much wood to work with, okay? And so Yo has gone double dock and is going galleys. And Margougou, just one dock. He hasn't even added a fire galley yet. So Margougou's choice is the archers. Yo now needs to recover. A lot of people will get Town Watch when they're housed because they're not really planning on getting Town Watch, but they just do it because they might as well. Yo is doing this when he's not population capped. So he's really valuing the vision here. Look at Margougou's walls. He's going to wall himself into this little itty-bitty corner. There's actually no gold here. He also can't take the hunt here when he does this. But, I mean, this is your moment, Margougou. Your opponent doesn't have a scout. I really think Margougou needs to move forward right now. But he's going to wait for that third archer, and fletching is on the way. Yo's galleys are really strong. And Margougou doesn't even have a fire galley out. So Margougou should, even though he's Japanese, should probably lose the fish. And Margougou, once he gets to 3 archers and fletching, decides to move out now. The one thing I'll say about Margougou's situation is I would love for him to have a fire galley or two, just to make Yo work for these snipes. And then Yo's position, I mean, he needs to get the skirms out as quickly as possible. Wow, the fact that he's building a new mule cart there is kind of hilarious, but Yo probably keeping a close eye on things, knowing the archers could be on the way. Now, he doesn't have the vision, so he'll tower here. So that'll be protected. The galleys now will hit Margougou's fish. Margougou's actually going to go for a second dock, so it looks like he's going to try and retake water, which is interesting. And now the archers are here. So as Margougou loses a fishing ship, Yo now loses a villager. But that might be the end of it. Oh, wow, that's crazy from Margougou. He gets the final snipe. He gets away as well. Yo still doesn't have fletching yet. So Eco KD might end up being fairly even. These galleys actually find this vill. So for now, that dock's denied. And now the archers are headed to the outside. Yo kind of thought ahead about this, though. I'd like to see Margougou kill the deer, though. Killing the deer is something other players have done. He just doesn't have the scouting to know that Yo is actually taking the wood there. See, he kind of took the wood on the back. So I think he's thinking Yo might do the same. He might run around awfully confused for a second. The fishing ships for Margougou are actually still alive. I think Yo is looking for them. So those fishing ships may actually make it home. And then the galleys got forced away by a fire. And Margougou's still looking around for damage, but I think Yo spotted him now. Yeah, look at all the vision right now that Yo has because of Town Watch. It's so good. It's also really good. You finish the trees there, and you can just wheel the mule cart over here. It's been a really close game so far. I honestly can't tell you who's winning. I think I would slightly prefer Margougou's position if he goes for scouts now. And he does have the... Yeah. This is the perfect transition. Oh my god, he's already got the stable up. And he will have scouts with the archers. He also hasn't lost an archer yet. This is really good timing from Margougou. He's really in shape here. And this is like... He really can't lose this series and feel good about his situation. He's got to get wins. Now, what would be crazy is if you could get up to 4 or 5 fires and this army. 4 or 5 fires headed over towards Yo's fish at the same time would be nuts. Yo is not going to invest any more into water, most likely. Yo has to wheel off of the gold. Yo will move over to stone, I think, for a couple defensive towers. He already built the one on the other area, so he can't tower here. Margougou's diving. Margougou's sniping. Margougou looking clean here. And so I was expecting the storyline to be what's going to happen with Margougou, but what's going to happen with Yo if everyone just keeps killing him in this group. This is beautiful play from Margougou. This is why people get hyped about this kid. But also, I can call him a kid because I just saw he was born in 2002. I feel like if I was born in 93, I'm allowed to do that. Maybe I shouldn't, though. I don't know. Every time I've seen Yo play this map, he is falling back into multiple defensive towers because he just cannot control the map. He is housed at the moment. And, I mean, Margougou's flying. Also, look at Yo's wood count. Yo's got 700 wood. He doesn't have a single farm. He didn't make a mill yet. So you could tell he just went to farm. And then he's like, oh, God, I might as well make the mill out here. Oh, this is disastrous for Yo. I actually think at this point you have to... You do have to just mill here so you can get farms. Now, Margougou, he didn't have big enough scout numbers to just end the game right there. Now he's got the numbers. Yo will sacrifice some skirms here. Margougou doesn't have the biggest fire galley count yet, so I don't think he can just easily retake water. But if he were to move out here now this is wild. He might actually see the deer are being taken. Yeah, now if he looks there and he sees the deer moving and the deer carcass, he will just pounce on those vills. It's kind of wild. Had he shot the deer with his archers earlier, he wouldn't be able to have this vision. Now, there is a tower nearby, but still, you could stop Yo from taking that food. Margougou, meanwhile, is taking the boar. Margougou's taking the deer. He's taking the berries. And Margougou needs some patience now. Okay, and now people are calling me a child because they were born in the 70s and 80s. Okay, I see your point. It feels a little condescending for you guys to call me a kid. So I will call Margougou. I will not call Margougou a kid. Okay, I get it. I see your point. Yo uses the market to click up. And let's see if Margougou can take advantage of this situation now. He has not won the game. He has had good control. He's had the better eco KD. But this is Mr. Yo. And we saw, for those that watched Viper Valis, now that was way more significant a lead for Valis, but we saw a situation where the best guys just figure it out. They end up getting the job done. Margougou has very little on wood at the moment. He's got a crazy farming eco. He'll be able to go for knights and crossbow and bodkin. But he really just needs to have a little bit more on wood. He is fully walled. Very well structured here. Now, sometimes you're trying to do so much on this map, you can't afford to get it all. So you can't afford to get war galley, crossbow, bodkin, knights, wood upgrade. But Margougou might actually be able to afford most of it. Again, the main thing for him is he going to actually have wood for TCs? His food count's ridiculous right now. And this extra scout's going to get the snipe here. That house will go down. So that little wall from Margougou is gone, but that's not really that big a deal. And he makes it to Castle Age before Yo. He gets crossbow, he gets bodkin, he gets war galley, and still has food left over to make a knight. That's crazy, man. He actually sold off some gold. He must have a market. I said he didn't have a market. There is a market here. Well, that's not a good fight for Margougou. He really wanted to be patient there. Ideally. But there's a lot to look at right now. There's this to micro. There's this to micro. There's this to micro. He'll be looking for Yo's fish. Yo's got 9 fish that have kept him in the game. Yo's getting elite skirm now. Margougou will see the skirms here, but there's also some spears he's got to deal with. And he just doesn't waste any time sniping them, does he? It's not the biggest army. There is a knight there. Margougou will back away. Margougou with a knight here. And Yo dropping a castle with the Armenians now. So Yo's plan is to go composite bowman, it seems. And I think the castle should go up. Margougou doesn't have a ton here. And now Margougou's fires. This is a big deal. Margougou's fires will start to snipe the fish. All those fishing ships are going to go down most likely. And Margougou's got to be so happy with that find. That's a really good find for him. Still could fully win water as well. Still has this army. Yo canceled elite skirm. Yo's losing all of his skirmishers now. Yeah, Margougou's flying. The main thing for him is he needs TCs. The town centers for him. And the micro from Margougou continues to be super smooth. He knows about the castle. But Yo is now... He's so far behind, he has to be very aggressive. And this could be a little dangerous for Margougou, potentially. But, I mean, what a position he's gained himself over here. Yo is having such a tough time. And, oh, man, Yo just had knights here. Oh, that villager could ruin the day for Margougou. Oh, dude, you got to lock that gate, Margougou. You also have to get the walls down. Yo, just noticed the TC foundation was there. That TC will go up. That TC will go up. If Margougou garrisons, it should be fine. He will garrison. The knights will get pushed away. Here, though, Yo does kill this off. So, like, the fact that Yo is now making composite bowmen in the middle could lead to some problems for Margougou. Like, I'm not really convinced composite bowman's the answer, but Yo should know he's super far behind is my point, and pushing the middle is much easier than pushing the outside. But only 3 fishing ships for Yo, 3 farms for Yo, and composite bowmen, they ignore armor, but CA just have more HP. Even forgetting the armor, they have more HP, more mobility. Cav archers are also more expensive, but you've got to think that Margougou's position is just perfect here. What is happening here? Margougou in a do-or-die situation, and he has looked so sharp. And now the CA are out here, and Yo's got nothing, dude! Let's see if Margougou sees that Vil with the hammer. If he follows her, it'll lead her to the rest. Yikes! Yikes! That's so painful. I mean, just delaying the TC is just horrible for Yo at this point. He's already so far behind with it. And it doesn't... It's what, 2 villager kills? So it's not as significant as it could be. But now the TC's not up. Yeah, honestly, like, Yo needs a forward castle on Margougou's face. That's what wins him this game now. Because Margougou's just flying economically. I really don't see an easy way to adapt your way back into this. Maybe you finish this TC and then you shift to the middle. But you've got to shift to the middle very quickly here, it feels like. So, guys, Evac's a new map. I'm going through the catalog of games in my head. I think this will have been the 4th game I've ever seen Yo play on the map. And this will be the 4th loss. Because, wait, no, I'm wrong. He beat Viper in Hidden Cup. I was incorrect. But so far in Titans League, I mean, if he loses this game, he's 0-3 on Evac. He's got to be banning this. It just clearly is not clicked for him. And normally with Yo, it takes a little bit of time for him to figure it out. But now 3rd game, his opponents just seem to have a lot of confidence against him here. Isn't it a map where knights are typically very dominant? Maybe that's part of it for you. I don't know, but Margougou has played it perfectly, guys. Like, look at all the adjustments he's made. He's walled the front, which he didn't do in the past. He's even stonewalling now. He's outposting through the middle. Look at the upgrades he's getting, too. Like, Margougou is playing some crazy Age of Empires right now. Yo, 30 Vils behind. Relying on composite bowman. He does have ballistics. Ballistics is not in for Margougou. Margougou's going to snipe the fish now. And, okay, Yo knows he's behind. Like, again, it's this weird situation where when a player knows they're behind, they actually can be more dangerous. And this is dangerous for Margougou. He can't exactly take that fight just yet. He will fall back to some siege. And now here comes Yo. And imagine you're Margougou, right? You're up against a top 5 player all time. You need wins desperately. You have the lead. Everything has gone according to plan. Until this. Is your heart beating fast right now? Again, truly imagine you're Margougou for a second. Panic time, baby. Panic time. Yo will have 2 castles to produce the composite bowman. Yo is all over the wood line now. Margougou is going to be under a lot of pressure, and Yo will drop those TCs behind this, and Yo could start to really mass up some eco here. Like, this now gives Yo some initiative to make decisions. Margougou is housed at the moment. Yeah, this is where the pressure's really flying in for him. He can't make the siege yet. He's going to lose this TC. He has to delete most of his farms. Oh man! Mr. Yo's got a very good chance here, man. A very good chance. Now, it's pretty epic from Margougou to still think about raiding while all that is happening. Because a lot of times that's hard to justify. His units are kind of stuck. And he might end up losing them. But still, I guess that was okay. Composite bowmen are here. Ballistics is now in, though, for Margougou. He actually went for full armor, which technically isn't helpful, but I don't mind it because it helps against other things. And the CA just cleared, which is what we thought would happen in equal numbers, but it wasn't equal numbers for a while. Now, this castle's already killed 2 units. This castle will also take out the TC pretty quickly. But Margougou built a castle here, and Margougou is going to drop another TC here. That's a good play for Margougou. You just got to give this up. This is not an area you want to focus on anymore. Also, a small thing. Yo got 5 relics, guys. 5 relics is crazy. There's another relic here. He could have 6. So if this goes late game, this could be much better for Yo. But again, Margougou did a great job building this castle. This cuts off Yo. Yo can't push that direction anymore. I mean, Margougou's probably going to lose houses and whatnot, but Yo is just going to have to focus on the other area, and that's where Margougou needs to lock down now. And I would say stone is your biggest priority and a castle over here. It's funny, he dropped the Siege Workshop Foundation here. He's completely forgotten about it. But now how does Yo defend his base? His food eco is much better than it was. He does have TCs. The church fires arrows because of relics inside, which I will maintain is the stupidest addition this game has had in recent years. I don't know how a relic is supposed to fire arrows. Not to mention only 2 civs get to fire arrows with their relics. Anyways, don't get me started. What is Yo supposed to make? The CA have free reign. Outpost city here for Margougou. Tons of vision through the middle. He'll now move this way. There are vills to find. You have to look hard for them, but you will find them with the CA. And then he's still got the CA here. Yet Margougou's back on track now. This castle from Yo, it was a good move, but it doesn't seem like it's enough to catch up economically. Again, relics are firing arrows. I'm holding back my opinions on it. The Cav Archers controlling this area. We might see a forward castle from Margougou. I'm seeing vills move forward now. That might be for the Siege Workshop, but that might also be for a forward castle. Yeah, if he's sending them to build a house there, that's probably actually for a castle. And Margougou's microing, and Margougou will win this fight. Composite bowmen are just not enough. Japanese Cav Archers, with the extra bonus damage they have, with the upgrades they have, are just so good. And I love this from Margougou as well. Margougou's controlling the crossing here. Yo just can't keep up. I mean, if you're still collecting boars at 40 minutes, I think that says a lot about your economy. And Margougou, maybe it needs to learn from Doubt and... Oh, he's going for a barracks? That was a hotkey issue, right? I was going to say, maybe he needs to learn from Doubt and send more than 6 vills? But he's sending 6 vills, and he's protecting the castle. Yo's going to see that castle. Yo knows what that means. Yo also clicks up to Imp pretty much at the same time there. He used the market a lot, but he still made it happen. But he won't be able to deny that castle. Man, look at Margougou's economy, though. This is a ridiculous eco. The upgrades are flying in. So he can make trebs from here to take this castle, and then he can make trebs from here to hit Yo's eco. Yo's eco is abysmal right now. And his gold income long-term is actually right here underneath this castle. It's not going to be easy. Well, and the relics, I guess. So Margougou might be on a little bit of a timer here to get the damage done before the relics pay off. But I think he's got plenty of time to work it out here. 7,000 more resources collected. Still flying with that eco. Margougou wins this game. Live standings for both of these two is 2 wins in the group. They're tied. This is going to be a great series, man. The Cav Archers will dive. This is before imp upgrades for both. That's fine for Margougou. He doesn't really seem to care. He's going to drop another castle with 6 vills. That's how deep he's going to drop it as well. He knows that he just has the better army right now. I love the lack of hesitation from Margougou to start the series, guys. He just loves to... He's shown confidence in himself, which a lot of players don't do when they've lost this many games or when they're up against Yo. He's playing his best Age of Empires. He has not hesitated to bring his best game. Both players will be an imp. Margougou will have 2 castles. And Margougou dropping the barracks now, so he's thinking about his next steps. Wild that he's built 2 forward castles with 6 villagers. I guess if it works the first time, there's no reason to not try it the second time. All right, so first step for Margougou. We don't see a treb from here. We do see a treb from Yo. So Yo, who knows? Maybe Yo takes this position. We do have a treb here from Margougou, though. And then we have another treb. So it'll be 2 trebs against 1 in this area. So that should mean that Yo loses the evacuation area, which... Like, Yo is going to be evacuating back to the desert land. Like, he's going to be... He's not going to be in a great spot. Now, this is a good fight. I think this is a good fight anyways. Because I think a lot of the CA will be distracted by vills. And Margougou gets kind of trapped. Yeah, so that's a really good fight for Yo. Sloppy from Margougou. But I think as long as Margougou just makes 4 trebs here, Yo's castle goes down, and he could just fully win this area. The only panic moment for Margougou is if he starts to lose his castle, which, again, is that really that important? I'm not so sure. Yo will add skirms now, but, I mean... Oh, man, his relics! His relics! He'll lose some of the relics. I guess he does still have the other monastery with 4 of them. But Margougou will snag some of those. And the score is so big for Margougou. We see supplies on the way for Margougou. And his food eco set up perfectly here, guys. So he's just going to go champ. Champ against skirms is perfect. The downside of that usually is time. Mule cart casually gets trebbed down. He's going to have the time. Now, you do have Yo going for some Dramens, which I like to see. So if he could, like, win a lot of control from the water, things could get interesting. I think Margougou needs to respect that somewhat. He still has docks. I'd like to see him make a couple fires. But he ultimately just needs to win this game right with this position right here. He's doing so. Mr. Yo, first game of the day, kind of notorious for playing on. He says it himself. He wants to be warmed up, and the longer he plays, the warmer he gets. But he's been cooked well and truly by Margougou here. Margougou's still not on champion yet, but I don't really even think he needed it, honestly. He's thinking ahead, but I think his own skirmishers with Cav Archers is more than enough here. There's not enough skirms from Yo to really put a dent into this. Yo will never take that castle out. There's no chance, dude. There's no chance. His army will melt. The long swords are here! And Yo will lose his only treb in this area. Down it goes. Down go the vills. And Mr. Yo now at 110 pop and somehow still believing. Maybe because of the Navy. Maybe because of this Draman. Maybe because of still having 4 relics. Maybe because he's making full skirm against Cav Archers. Reasons to possibly believe. But Margougou's getting fast fire now. He still does have the docks, so I think just 4 or 5 fires on the water will start to take away the water opportunities for Yo. I mean, Yo just got Silesian fleet, so he's thinking he can go full Navy and just hold on here. But, bro, you're going to run out of wood, Yo. Like, you have no wood. You have no stone. Mr. Yo thinks he has a chance, though, guys. So let's let him cook. It's crazy. It's wild how the reputation for Yo and ACCM of playing on and being fighters has somehow gotten like the extremes in which they fight is just getting further and further and further the longer their careers goes. Especially with Yo. Like ACCM, I always feel as though actually has like he's fighting actively for a win condition, and I can understand why he's in games, even when other people like to make the meme. But here it's like, yeah, I guess he wants to try it out. He wants to see what the Navy does. And Margougou now maybe a little concerned about traversing the waters here with all the infantry and cav archers. Someone who I assume is joking, but maybe they just got here, says, such an unlucky map. Yo spawned on a desert island while Margougou started in a massive forest. I can see why you would think that if you just got here. But no, they both started on the desert island. It's just Yo's the one who conquered it. And he wasn't able to conquer anything else. Yeah, Margougou wants to retake water, so he's dropping this castle now. And, I mean, he'll lose all of his champions, but whatever. That's a waste of pop space. He needs to beat Yo, apparently, he needs to win water. So, he'll aim to do that now. And he does have the fires in queue, he just didn't have the population space. Here comes Yo with those galleons. Fast fire is in. That will be an expensive loss for a player who's about to have no wood. Still has no easy answer to these cav archers Margougou has running around. All right, now Yo is sneaking back and starting to treb this castle down. The relics are still there as well. Margougou needs to get those relics. There's no world in which you should allow that. But he is doing everything else, and now he's... Yeah, this is good. He's going to retake this island now. He's bringing his trebs through to take out Yo's castle. He'll drop his own castle here as well. And, I think slightly worried maybe he'll lose this castle. But Margougou is going to have enough fast fires to clear this. That is an Armenian navy, so it's very strong. But Yo doesn't have the economy to make much more than that, and Margougou does. I would expect Margougou to get good enough engagements there. And Yo's castle will fall. Margougou's castle will go up. Fast fires actually went down. Okay. I think they're missing careening. So that could explain why they went down so fast. The castle goes down. This castle could go down as well. Yo could regain his relics. There's no way, right? I'm really glad. 5 minutes ago, I was going to say, if Yo wins this game, I'll eat a shoe live on stream. I'm very glad I didn't say that. Because I'm actually feeling like there's slightly higher chances now. And I don't like the taste of shoe. Not that I've tried it. There's no way, dude. There's no way. Like, if Margougou can pass through here with army... Okay. Margougou lost both his castles. Really, I think what Margougou should go for now is his own galleon, but he's going to build up buildings here. He's getting shipwright. Yeah, like Margougou's going to ensure that he can outlast Yo here. Yo's got 5 on gold. And just 4 relics, though I guess he's going to go for another one. He doesn't even have a treb right now. Okay, castle from Margougou could be denied. Margougou... Yo is really making Margougou work for this. Drawman goes down. And the galleons are doing work. The galleons are making progress. There's no way, right? The castle is denied. There's no way. Yo is down to his final stumps. He's stump chopping right now. Like, he's got nothing. Well, he does have these trees, I guess. No way, dude. If Margougou loses this game, I just can't. He does have careening in queue now. That's something he's been missing, so he hasn't had the armor for his docks. He is making skirms in CA here. He should be able to still maintain some control here. There's careening. There's thumb ring, which he hasn't had. He's also still got his trebs here. And so he's going to move and take out some of the eco Yo has here. That's his hope. The champions are dying pretty quickly to the skirms and the composite bowmen, though. All right, we'll get a true test of what careening can do. Margougou's back in it. Yeah, Margougou will never lose this game. Margougou will never lose this game. He's not giving control here. He's got the fast fires coming in now that he's got careening in. And the castle for Margougou will actually stay up, barely. Yo's navy gets pushed back. Yo has no mineable gold left. He's running out of trees. He's running out of space. He just has the relics. And yeah, that navy's all gone now. I think the fast fires will take out the galleons. It's going to be really difficult for Yo to make more. The Trebs for Margougou are still just chilling here. He could make a move soon. And I think Yo is tapping out now. Believe it or not, I think he's actually going to call the GG. He's back down to 110 pop. Margougou will take his final Treb there. Margougou's surrounding the docks. And Margougou was never going to lose this game. I was never worried. GG. Whew. What a game. I mean, that extra 10 to 15 minutes of fight there. I mean, who knows how the stamina aspect plays into it. Margougou is obviously going to be very happy with how he started that off. And he'll have to shift his mentality to getting another win here. So live standings between these two. Margougou 2 wins. Yo 2 wins. Both in the relegation conversation. And I was expecting that maybe Yo would win this 2-1 or 3-0. So well played from Margougou. That is the best version of Margougou we have seen so far in Titans League. And honestly, with Yo, it has kind of been shaky. Especially on evacuation. Every series is started on evacuation. And game 1 is determined by the players themselves. They go ban, pick, and then they just ban everything that's remaining except for one map. So this is clearly a map that Yo doesn't hate because he lets it get through each time. Future rounds, I think Yo just needs to avoid this map because it has not looked good for him so far. 91,000 res collected there from Margougou. I like the adjustments he made with the walling. I loved what he was able to do in Feudal Age and Early Castle. So often, players can do like 80% of the job. They can get the lead in Feudal and Castle, but they can't finish it in Imp. And he did a great job finishing that there. And we got ourselves some drama, folks. Let's go. Oh, people! I told you this might happen. Margougou's very close friends with ACCM, who's been on an absolute tear so far this season. And ACCM was the only other player who played Cumans on this map. So Margougou, here in the blue, he's gone for the Cumans. Not your typical pick, Persians, Lithuanians, Mongols, open aggressive civs. He's going to be greedy, potentially, go for the second TC. And then Yo has gone for that more common approach with the Huns, where you would normally expect the Huns to play lots of scouts, play open in the Feudal Age, and adapt. Now, Yo is like a master Cuman player. I don't know if there's rankings for civilizations for players, but if there was a Cuman ranking, I would say that Yo is top 3. So Yo, I think, has an understanding on how the Cumans could be played to their best potential. But then also, with that, should be able to understand the downsides of it and how to pressure it. So, do you fast castle? Do you still go Feudal Age? Because, you know, you don't necessarily have it confirmed that Margougou is going to go 2 TCs. He still might not. Those are the things to think about. Now, here's another aspect of this. So, last time I saw this, the player did still dock the middle and fish. But if you dock the middle and fish, it's better for your food income, but you actually delay the TCs. So I'm curious to see. Margougou is going 4 to wood now. This kind of answers my question. This feels like Margougou is still going to fish. Yo will likely do the same. But Yo did not dock on this map when he played against Sebastian, which is very odd. I really like everything about the season for Yo has been like some other players. They're just not in shape yet. They haven't done any training, and other players have. And so it's kind of an exciting time for AoE2, where the training and the preparation from the underdogs are actually paying off. People aren't just getting away with not being prepped so far. So Margougou will bring 2 vills. That will be for a dock. And that's so you don't have to get loom. It's pretty smart. If you have just 1 vill out there, your villagers could always be sniped. The scouts meet each other in the middle. And Margougou gets 2 extra hits over Yo. Or maybe that was just 1. Yo will just back away to the hill here. Margougou will see the dock. And Yo is also bringing a second vill. So Yo's preparation for these types of events, guys, is watching. So he tends to watch a lot of games and cast a lot of games. So he's always just keeping an eye on things for his community. But he is not known for doing a ton of practice. In fact, I found out that Yo did a practice set with Daniel, and I was very surprised. Now, Daniel blamed Yo straight up. He said, I lost my first round badly because my strats were bad because I stole Yo's strategies. he was like, I will never train with Yo again. It's funny. I had another player tell me the same. He said, I will never train with Yo again because he makes me think things are good when they're not. But yeah, I mean, like, I'm curious to see how Yo addresses this. Guys, if Yo loses to Margougou, this is not an easy group. He could be relegated, man. Let's think of all the names the big names that have been relegated out of the top 24 before in Titans League. We've had Vinchester. That's the craziest one because he won the first season, then got relegated in the second. MBL was relegated. Nikov was relegated. Who else we got? I think Vivi. Vivi's on track to being back in Platinum. I think those would be the biggest names. There might be some others. Someone says Viper. I mean, Viper got some important wins. I don't think he'll be relegated, but he is technically in that relegation conversation right now. So yeah, it's tough, man. A lot of times, I think those first 2 rounds is what people look back to. It's like, man, if I would have had a slightly better start, if I wouldn't have gotten completely demolished the first week or 2, things would have been better for me in that particular season. Wow, so Margougou's going to gold with a mining camp, and he's going to aim for the second TC. I wonder where he builds it. And Yo is going feudal. He's also going to gold. And I'm not seeing a barracks, actually. Could still do that. And there he's going to build it. Okay. And wow, we have a barracks for Margougou as well. What? So Margougou is not going for the second TC. At least so far. And I think that's everything Yo will expect. Yo did see the mining camp on gold, so he might be thinking Margougou would just contest on water. And oh. Margougou almost got the trap. Yo's scout gets away. But both players are building their barracks in the middle. Margougou scouted that, though. And he scouts a stable. I think he just wants to make spears. I think his plan is to make spears in defense, fire galleys for the middle, and then boom. That would be my guess right now. I don't think that his plan is to add a stable or an archer range himself. And I like this because on this map, you have economy exposed in the middle if you play it like this. So you don't just want to give free kills to Yo. But you also still need the 2 TCs. So it delays it. But the TC should go up unharmed. And then there's deer, gold, wood all around that TC. And things get awkward right now. Yo loses his scout. And Margougou could lose his fire galley, though. But Yo is... I mean, I've been really surprised at how weak his transition game is today. Now, it's because Margougou is so active at the start, right? You think every game so far, it's been action, 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 early feudal with a lot to manage. But what we're not seeing from Yo, for example, is spending that wood on farms right now. Normally, you'd need a mill. Then you'd get the farms. And that's always important. Against the Cumans, you really want to ensure you're not too late to the Castle Age. Yo bringing his scout in here and his spear and his fires. Yo gets the snipe. That's very well played from Yo. And actually, this can lead to a villager kill too. This could be very good for him. And so now Margougou may be questioning. Margougou's going to take what's left of the fish there, which is kind of funny. But maybe you could question Margougou's investment into water now. I don't know. I still don't hate it. There's not a lot of fish to be gained here. Yo was distracted on this instead of stopping your TCs. So I think those aspects make this very good. And now Yo obviously not as busy. We'll build the mill to take some deer. We'll build a mill to take some berries and some deer. He's got a mill over here. So now he's sorting out some of those things that I was kind of expecting. So I don't know. Like, you're worried against the humans that they're going to get a massive fill lead on you. Margougou didn't get that TC up for quite some time. And Yo could maybe still have some scouts roam around. This is a lot of work for Margougou to keep an eye on. There's then the villagers here as well. This is where I think Margougou would have wanted some spears to be around. And he definitely would want those farms to start coming up now. Yo going for a blacksmith now, which is interesting timing. Because, like, he doesn't benefit from the blacksmith just yet. And now he's dropping the market. Okay. Not much Margougou can do about this right now. But Margougou, with seeing that market, should know that Yo's going to try and go to Castle Age fast. Margougou being attacked here, fighting off with Vills. Honestly, very impressive. But doesn't have a lot of food eco, guys. And those berries were important. Could easily overchop here as well. Just so much to pay attention to. Now, what you could do in Margougou's position, because you will have a Vil lead. If you keep this in Feudal, if you go for like an archer range or two, you go Spearman Archer on Yo right now, the next couple minutes there's potential for that. Especially because Yo might sell his stone. So you don't have to just go Castle Age here for your humans. That makes it a bit easier for the opponent, if anything. The Yo scouts get pushed away. So I actually wouldn't mind that. Like, a quick range, a couple spears, and then you just moving into Yo's base. Like, make Yo make some defensive army here. Don't allow him to just simply go up to Castle Age to make knights. Especially on a map this open. Now, on a map that's more closed, you tend to see knights with siege to eat the TC. There's a great potential for that. But with Huns, I think Yo might want to go CA. Especially because you're not spending a lot of wood on farms on this map because you have the hunt everywhere, so... I just missed it, but Yo sniped a villager. And now Yo loses a scout trying to get another one. Yo is up. Margougou is really going to need a market here, I think. His Vil count is going to fly. But there's a point where you actually have to stop producing Vils so you're not that much later to Castle Age. So I think the correct move is you idle your TCs after this market is up to click up. And then after you're on the way to castle, you're still producing out of one TC. But sometimes you just get so in the mindset of produce. You're delayed too much here. Let's see. He's got 4 Vils in queue. We'll buy some food. I wouldn't even hate seeing that stone sold off. Anything you can do to click up here if you're Margougou. Yo 30 seconds away. Yo dropping the ranges. This feels like a good position for Mr. Yo. It's a very open base for Margougou. Margougou needs to click up. And then he has to keep those Vils alive. Another villager bites the dust there. Nice job from Yo. And Margougou is on the way to Castle Age. Okay. So he's got to hold for 2.5 minutes. That's a long time on a map like this. We can see even the weak scouts from Yo have been getting damage. What? Okay, let me back up. So something that ACCM did, which I felt was so critical to him having a chance when he boomed like this, was he walled and he kind of built up towards the corner. Margougou built forward. So now there's like all this exposed area, all these exposed areas. By the way, he's housed at the moment because he built so many houses on the shoreline and the fire galleys are taking that out. That's annoying. Margougou will lose another Vil to the scouts. These scouts have been crazy. And even another villager to the scouts. Scouts are the real MVPs for Yo. And Yo will bring the Cav Archers forward. He drops TC number 2. Yeah, Yo's looking in full control right now. This is full panic mode for Margougou. It's so funny. Humans are either, they look unstoppable, or you look at them and say, why even try this on the map? ACCM made this strategy look so good, man. It's tough to know what to do. If you make skirms, then you still don't take initiative. And your opponent just adds siege. So I think you want like some type of offensive weapon yourself. So Cav Archers or Knights would be appropriate. Towers going up. The towers are very well placed, actually. It protects pretty much everything. And Margougou has 7 vills in queue, so there's more food for him than the stats are suggesting right now. But he cannot allow Yo to get underneath this tower. If Yo can get underneath that tower, there's no murder holes, and it could be a problem. And Yo says hello. There's so many villager kills. And the Cav Archers are cheap, too. So you could, these are dollar store Cav Archers. Who cares if you lose a couple of these? Another TC for Yo. Love how he hasn't actually farmed that much. He's just utilizing the map. He's built mills everywhere to take the hunt. He's using the wood for CA. By the way, what's like a dollar store called in the UK? Is it like pound store? Pound town? Is there one? Poundland? I think that's actually what it's called. I think I remember laughing about that before. Poundland. That's actually hilarious. Okay. Well, camels are out for Margougou. 5 villager lead. Food eco setup is really good long-term with the farms. Still probably needs a couple upgrades. And Yo is not able to finish off Margougou. So this game goes on for a while longer. But the first game, Yo just had no control. And he's been able to take control now. And it's all Margougou trying to catch up and stabilize. It's going to be tough for him, it feels like. Now, if you can get a castle, combine some kip checks with the camels. We saw in the Capoch ACCM set, kip checks can beat the CA. Kip checks were able to outperform Magyar Cav Archers in the mid game, just because the production. But I mean, it's a completely different scenario. Yo has 3 TCs, and Yo has the better economy now, in my opinion. And Margougou just can't keep up. Another villager will be exposed. Wood will become a real issue here. Margougou needs something crazy. Camel raids, probably not it. Yo's monk saw that. Great awareness. And a couple more vills go down for Margougou. Ace John, thanks for the offer, but I would not like you to take me to Poundland. I can't, I've never confirmed that's actually the name of the place. I don't know if it's actually called Poundland, but thanks for the very creepy offer, I guess. I'm okay. I'm okay. Cav Archers aren't. Cav Archers going down pretty quickly. These camels only have the first armor. They don't even have bloodlines. And now Margougou's dropping a castle. Is there a chance for Margougou, guys? He's hanging around. Yo hasn't gone for any siege. Yo hasn't pressured him. Yo hasn't killed him off. I hate that castle and the fact that it's not being built with all the villagers, though. Like, can we have a little bit more urgency here? I guess not. It's at 60%. Hello? Delete the house? Hello? Margougou! Margougou! Oh my goodness, dude. Well, it's okay. You just have to lose every single camel, and then you can get the castle up. Hopefully. Maybe. Oh, boy. That's expensive. Yeah, that's expensive. That'll be a frustrating one for Margougou, but the castle will go up. And now I think you just have to commit to kip checks. Like, more camels doesn't really click for me. You have a lot of stone for another castle. I think full kip checks your play. When Yo already has 18 Cav Archers, though, it's going to take some time for that to work. And Yo will start to get relics around the map, it seems. Yo's just... He's played exactly as you would want to play with Huns. Also, auto scout emote. This scout scouted the whole map. Shout out to him. Well played there from Yo. That also is also adding to Yo's score right now. Yo's vision is on the minimap right now, and then I'll switch it to Margougou's, and there's a very clear difference. And Margougou taps out. Those Cav Archers were going to get kills. He has tried and tried and tried. He just had no control, and Margougou didn't have enough there. Again, it's an interesting one. This civ is very risky, and Margougou felt as though he could maybe combine competing for water with adding the TCs. Obviously, now it feels like pretty easy to just say he shouldn't have contested for water at all. But I didn't hate it. I think what I hated more than anything was the fact that Margougou's TC and his base setup made the map so open for himself. Now, it's jungle swamp. That's kind of expected. But when I look at this, like if he scouted this, for example, that's a tasty little corner. Maybe a TC there? I don't know. Then the front of his base is wide open. Then he has bigger issues there. I don't look at this map and think humans should work. But ACCM did it. And ACCM, everything he's done has looked so good. So I can understand why you'd try it. Margougou probably talked to ACCM or Solid Games and said, against Yo, when I'm the underdog, I need something extreme. But Huns are Huns. Yo is Yo. And Yo turns it around. Good stuff from Yo, though. It was the perfect amount of pressure in Feudal. Those scouts got, 6 kills? He only made 3 of them. And then he had an 18.5-minute castle age time. That's pretty ridiculous. All right, so catching up to live time due to the bug getting in. And we are on Shoals, which has been a comfort pick for a lot of people here. We've seen a lot more Shoals than I was expecting. It's a very adaptive, boomy type of style, typically. And combines the water with the land. And I think both these civs can excel there. The Saracens overall, I think, have the better land options. Like, if they can get to them. And they also have probably the better navy. But the Malay with the faster uptimes, man, they were really far into this game. Typically could be really hard to stop. And yeah, sorry guys, the tool we used to see if games are live wasn't telling me it was live. And I guess we just skipped the Dark Age. Cool. So, couple things I'm noticing. Both are going to be in Feudal. So it'll be galley opening for Margougou. Yo is doing the same. And the build's essentially identical. I mean, they're just saving up their water buffaloes. They don't have a lot on food beyond their fishing ships. Now, I've seen a lot of fast castles from Yo. This is actually the first time that I've seen Yo not fast castle on this map. Because I think the first 2 rounds he was Byzantines. And I think, yeah, he went Byzantines fast castle. So Margougou probably would have looked at that, especially because it's Yo. And he probably would have said, Yo's going to do the same thing he did every other time. And fast feudal with Malay is really good about that. Okay, but it's this weird thing, right? I think making lots of galleys in feudal is not good. But if your opponent does it, if you both go for the same build to counter a fast castle, then you're stuck making galleys, right? Like typically what this build is you make 2 galleys or 4 galleys to snipe their fish, and then you add more fish against the fast castle. But now they both tried the same thing, and now it feels weird to stop making ships because then you're going to lose the water. So, yeah, you're just kind of stuck in this similar build now. Yeah, it's a composition lock, exactly. Neither player's going to stop producing because they've invested into it. And I guess from there, which civ do you prefer? The Saracen galleys fire faster, but you have to utilize that, at least in feudal. Once ballistics is in and more galley, that actually has a bigger effect. But the Malay have the superior eco because they can skip through the ages and get those timings. And Margougou gets fletching before Yo does. Scout is really valuable. And their scouts are both moving around the map right now. That's helpful for the relics, which there's 7 of. We actually have 1 in the middle. And the others are in the other areas. And then obviously long-term, you need to get the gold. It's always a tricky balance. I don't want to touch out like the basics of every map every single time because we have games all the time. And some of you guys might get bored of hearing the same crap. But also, this event's been hyped and the support's been great so far. So there's some people who are new each time. So that's, I guess, the balance of talking about the same game nonstop for 10 years. But just in general, any event. Fishing ships barely alive there for Yo. And pretty good execution from both so far. No kills yet. And Margougou will be frustrated he didn't kill the fishing ship. But the fishing ships aren't working efficiently for Yo anyways. And oh man, Margougou's micro is sick there. That was beautiful. Yeah, as long as you macro properly, you should be in Castle Age faster. Even though the Saracens can use the market. Yo will drop the market. We'll see him use that on the left side of the screen. And then he drops the barracks too. So it's similar to what Yo did in the past. He wants some scouts out or archers maybe for the other areas. Doodley Squat says, we have been listening to you yap for years, T90, so you could safely assume that we don't mind. Well, don't speak for everybody else. Like, how many people here are constantly on the fence? They're not sure. You're not sure if you're going to get tired of me or not. And you're like, one wrong move, and I'm out of here. Type a 1 in chat if that's you. One misstep, and immediately unfollowing and off to, I don't know, play Fortnite or something. See, there's a couple 1s. There's a lot of 1s from people who've subscribed to me for a long time, too. So that's always really encouraging. Thank you, guys. That's really nice. Margougou will also use the market a little bit. Margougou is all over the berries, but Margougou is clicked up. And this is the Malay, man. Power of the Malay. If you don't misstep, that's unrelatable, says Friend of Draco. Okay. That's what I'm aiming for. Yes, I aim to be relatable when I make mistakes. That's definitely it. It's all calculated, actually. Something that bothers me about Margougou is he never uses Auto Scout. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that's the best move here because it might run into Yo's base or something. But it's just, we'll see how long the scout stands here. Yo is also clicked up around the same time, but he's not Malay. He does have some healthier ships, though, overall. About 150 more HP. And Yo's also adding the scouts. Now, if Margougou, let's say Margougou wins water, but it takes a while, that's fine for Yo. Because then Margougou can't fish. So they're transitioning into the TCs. Yo sees the uptime there and immediately knows he needs to chase. Margougou backs away, knowing he's got the lead. Scouts are around. Margougou's gone for 3 docks. Margougou wants so badly to add fish. And Yo is bringing Vills down here. Now, upgrades were a little delayed for Margougou. They'll be in now. But the sea tower is also here. Yo's going to be fine. Like, Yo still has more ships. Yo still has the sea tower. He doesn't have fish for now, but Margougou can't gain an advantage from water yet. And Yo moves this way, and Yo says, "What up, golds?" He probably didn't say that, but he should, and he should drop a TC. Now, this is an interesting position, too. So if you drop the TC here, this, like, blocks your opponent from taking the gold, but your opponent can then castle drop you and siege push you as well. I don't know what he's waiting for right now, but just waiting with his navy. Margougou now dropping a university. Wow. So he's really committing to winning water here. Just keeps on producing. And he wants ballistics as well. Yo had no stone. Yeah, I know. I just was expecting him to buy it. And he bought it now. Margougou scouts looking at this area, so he doesn't know that Yo's down there. And Yo has a couple scouts around. Margougou's not walled. Does have loom, but that could still be kind of annoying. And ballistics now on the way from Margougou. Wow, big water commitment. I mean, if you win water with galleys, though, you can range a lot of things. You could even range this gold, right? So it's not like it's going to be bad, but at least currently, economically, has it given him a massive boost? I would say no. But he has had some smooth builds here. Like smooth transitions. He actually just ran out of his gold. Ooh, so he's moving to the other 2 tiles, which Yo will see. And Saracen galleys fire faster. But Margougou will have ballistics now. Already pays off there. Yeah, Yo is being really annoying with these scouts. But he's not really microing that well. Losing those scouts could be painful. And now the fight continues on water. Now Margougou needs to micro in a way that benefits the fact that he has ballistics, which I'm not really seeing. You want to move side to side. Yeah, now he's microing on the front. Yo does have a knight on the way. So Margougou's not walled here. That TC might be completed by then, but... I kind of... Like, okay, I like Margougou's res collected, yes. I like all of that. But I think Yo's position is actually way better here. I think we've seen the advantages of the melee play out to give him the better eco. It's a weird feeling to see Yo so far behind on water and in population and prefer his position. But I think I do prefer his position right now. And Margougou, though, just needs the TCs to change my mind, and he's doing that now. His scout went down at some point, by the way. And now Margougou completely wins water. Okay, well, now you can fish. Now you can add the fish. It took him some time. And Yo, TC, TC. We'll probably get some relics. And Yo sees the knight. Margougou sees the knight, and the knight goes down. So that was a nice idea from Yo, but it didn't do too much. The sea tower could go down to these war galleys. I'm actually kind of curious how many war galleys would die to this sea tower. I think if you add some fires there, you take it out much faster. Man, what an important victory. Okay, let's see. Sea tower. Margougou, where are we going? It has murder holes. Sea tower is 2 kills already. 3, 4, 5, 6. Sea tower is insane. 7. Oh my god. And now Yo's like, I can retake water now. I'm gonna make some fire galleys. Honestly, like that's a huge deal. Yo's still freely able to take gold over here, getting relic number 2. Vil count is pretty much even. It's 60 vils for both. Margougou just has the fish. Yeah, the sea tower is pretty crazy. It fires extra projectiles. Look at Yo, guys. It's just great map awareness. He understands. I've got this area locked down. And he needs gold soon. And he even saw the Vils move from those 2 tiles to these 2 tiles. So he's going to just make some army here. He's going to pressure this area. Margougou's going to have to defend all this. And eventually he will run out of gold. It will not be easy for Margougou. Especially if Yo also makes lots of ships here. If Yo could, like, switch back on the water, start to take out the fish, suddenly it's investment, investment, investment for Margougou without long-term access to gold. Again, I think from Yo was somewhat calculated. He's like, I might lose water, but I just need... Oh, and this is so smart. This is so smart! The sneak dock! And now he's got fires here as well. Yo, this is a masterclass from Yo. But yeah, he's just like, I'm going to give you that water, but at what cost for you? And now Margougou's distracted by this. But this is all the setup play. This is all the setup play for the next move. There's so many things you've got to respond to now if you're Margougou. Life is not very easy for you. And Yo, 4 relics. And honestly, with gold, he could go for a lot here. He could go for redemption. And redemption could convert any defensive siege. You can even, if you go for a defensive castle here in Margougou's position, you're defending an area without gold. You need some type of offensive pressure. Yo has the monk over here. So if anything comes over this way, he'll see it. And Yo has vision here. I don't see how Yo ever loses this game. It just seems perfect. It is just a perfect position to be in. Now, if Margougou... The only thing Margougou could do... He's actually about to do. Oh, Margougou with the big, big brain. He's just going to run through this way to the gold. Oh, that's so smart. And Yo thinks he's got him locked down. Yo's like, I see everything here. I see everything here. This is unlosable for me because he can't take gold. But guess what? Margougou will get access to that gold. He will build a castle. He could take the gold. And then if he can make karambits, he could actually kill all of this with karambits. Karambits is actually the perfect play. And how many times have I mentioned the importance of outposts? I guess for Yo, it's unlucky because he did build outposts here, but he just didn't have an outpost near the shoreline. Maybe he couldn't do so because of the war galleys, though. Redemption was in for Yo, and Yo converts the mangonel. He loses the monk, but he gains some siege. Yeah, Margougou needs those karambits fast. He needs them here so quickly. And... Yo, I'm thinking he's got safe gold, and he'll go for safe castles. Nope. Yo's going to castle drop from the other side. So Margougou's got a siege push to contend with here. He now is going to have a castle to contend with here. I don't see how Margougou can deny this. Now, the karambits are massing. They will definitely come back to deal with this. And I don't think Yo knows about that at all. But this castle's so crazy. I love it. Also, there's no guarantee that the karambits actually clear this up. Yo will see those a long way away. So the siege could pretty easily attack around them. I don't even think Margougou knows about this. He has no clue. He has no clue that castle's going up. And here come the karambits. Okay, so Yo will have time to notice this. He just noticed it. The karambits have to walk around the monastery. They'll come through. Margougou's running out of wood. Yo is the monk for the mangonel. Margougou needs to save that. And it... Oh my god, it gets converted. It gets converted, and here come the karambits. Good luck. Good luck. Quick walls from Yo. Margougou's desperate. His people are screaming, help! Help! And the karambits are just being quick walled out. Now there's another house. Are you going to delete your university? Think of the education of the people. Okay, karambits will make it through. The people fight back. All right, this will be cleared. This will all be cleared up, but at what cost? Oh my god, this castle killed 17 villagers! Margougou didn't notice the entire time. He was so focused on getting through to deal with this. What an epic castle from Yo. What an epic play from Yo. And just patience, man. Just patience to understand that it was all part of the plan, all set up play for the long term. This is so good. He's also going to make some knights now. That's going to be a pain to deal with. The only thing that's kind of funny is he didn't know about the castle, and he's got to deal with that now. But he'll be an imp before the melee, so... Well, maybe not, actually. Does Mark... Dude, melee are insane. It'll be the same time. But, like, Yo converted his market and is now... He's building a siege workshop. Like, this is his base now. Look at this. You know how you build up with houses and buildings as part of the wall? He's, like, adding to it. And he'll just make some rams from there. A couple Mamelukes will come. And, yeah, the only way Yo loses this game now is if he allows Margougou to maintain control of this goal. And he should know that. Margougou does have the gold left at his base. He's out of stone, though. He will drop a castle here. So, you know, maybe if he gets Trebs out here, he could start to stabilize. There's a lot of things Yo could consider doing here, though. I'd like to see Yo consider coming back on water. But I think that's maybe a little too early. I think going for the Treb ore first. Chemistry makes a lot of sense for bombard cannons. Oh, that's really helpful. This is also really nice. That ram and the castle fire from Yo is doing a lot of damage there. That's already taken 1,000 HP off that castle. Margougou will have to, like, hop out of the castle to attack that and lose some units in the process. He'll do it. It'll come at a cost. And still, he lost so much HP on that castle. Yo wildly walking forward with no military to drop a castle here on Margougou. And again, I think Margougou's just too distracted. There's still all these random buildings to deal with. There's still this castle to focus on. And he won't notice this. And Yo will have a Treb coming. Well, he won't actually have a Treb coming, but he's got the Trebs from here. And it's just all the setup play for the north. Margougou played so well in the first game. It really has just been a series of getting control. I don't really know how else to say it. It's been a fun one. Like, Margougou took some really nice control and never let go in game 1. Yo, similar in game number 2. This game has a little bit more mystique to it. This game has a little bit more uniqueness, though, because Yo did have to give up water to gain the land, you know? It's like you've got to... Trying to think of some weird example. If you love the water, you've got to let it go or something. I don't know. Give up the water and then you'll get the water later. Oh god, demos. Oh, I was not expecting that, Margougou. Oh, that was sick. I mean, he really needed something massive to keep that castle alive. It happens. He's now got Trebs. Yo could lose this castle now. This is a complete waste of a castle for Yo at the moment. He should delete that. But meanwhile, Yo is pushing the north, and this is Margougou's Golden Cup. So that's still number 1 priority for Margougou is holding the north. But now, realistically, you could probably... You don't need to push after taking this castle for a little while. This will allow Margougou to maybe focus some of his attention up there. Before, I wasn't thinking that was a possibility. Margougou says, I'm not done yet. Karambits will die. But the castle's up. The Trebs are up. Margougou could maybe now focus in the north. Repairs coming in. But Yo's has 3 Trebs already. That's not enough Vills repairing. I think that castle will fall. And if the castle falls, the Mamelukes are going to be here to mop up the Trebs and mop up the Vills. Yo doesn't have as many repair Vills as Margougou, but I think his Treb numbers are just good enough here. And boom, the castle's going to fall. Demos again from Margougou. The Mamelukes are there. I think the Mamelukes could go down, though, right? Oh, no, he goes for the Trebs and he doesn't quite get them. But he does take the castle. Wow, okay. Yo, you're not going to be able to convert a trebuchet with the monk. Only I get to do that. And he does snipe the Trebs, though. Loses one of his own. Margougou desperate with towers now. And, I mean, this is still messy for Yo. I mean, this game is really scrappy. But it's scrappy with one player without golds. And one player with golds and relics. I don't know where Margougou is headed with these Vills. I guess maybe he doesn't know that Yo has the full setup here. They've been told they need to go to golds. And they're just obeying orders. Oh, God. Demo gets converted. Yeah, another castle from Yo. Margougou's in big trouble. The Mamelukes will kill the Vills. He will never get access to gold down here. And Mr. Yo, despite the slow start, turns it around and wins 2-1. Things are looking okay for him. We'll look at the results. Margougou, though, that is now 2 wins after 3 rounds. He is going to need to step it up. And I'm telling you, it's building up this storyline, okay, where that final round between Margougou and Doubt is going to be really important. Over the next 2 days or 3 days, we will see Doubt's 2nd and 3rd round. So we'll know a lot more about Doubt's situation. He's got to play Leary yet. He's got to play Margougou. I think he's got to play Yo as well. I we'll go through that here in a second. He has to play everyone but Sebastian, I guess. But well played from Yo to turn it around. I mean, I think it's really tough for me to know what to suggest to Margougou when you're playing melee here. Beyond more vision. Like, I think Yo going scouts to see what the opponent was doing and how the opponent was prioritizing it was key. And he was able to make all the proper decisions because he had the information. And Margougou didn't play about information and map control. He played about water control and adapt to boom, which is completely fine. But when Yo has the map control and plays it like that, it's going to be really tough. Yo just had a perfect game. You have to somehow take some control early against Yo. If you don't, he's just a master at understanding his win conditions. And beautifully played. Let's pull up the results and see what this means statistics-wise. I think this should mean that Margougou has to win his final 2 rounds. I think, has to, at the very least, 2-1. it does depend massively on Doubt right now, and Dragonstar, because it's probably those three players, maybe even Yo, those players all fighting to avoid the fifth and sixth spots. Sorry. So, then put the results. Again, it's kind of a bummer. We're still missing round 2. We'll see Doubt Leary soon. And then we'll see Doubt, who is it? Doubt Dragonstar soon as well. So all that stuff comes over the next few days. So we'll have a greater picture soon. But according to the stats here, Margougou's got a very high chance of relegation. He's got about 10% survival rate. And Margougou's in chat says 0% gaming is on. I'm going for first. Margougou, you can't. That's what 0% means. 0% means 0%. You can't go for first. I think it's not possible. Is it really just not possible? Can he? I guess it's not possible. Yeah. Because even if Sebastian gets swept, those wins are going to someone else. Well, let's talk about Margougou's upcoming matchups. He's got a series to play against Sebastian. So that's going to be really tough because Sebastian's playing amazing. But they are teammates, so maybe Margougou knows some tricks. And then the final series against Doubt. And guys, I'm kind of expecting, and I'd love for Doubt to prove me wrong, but I'm kind of expecting Doubt to be in a really rough spot after he plays against Leary. And then he plays against Yo in the 4th round. I guess Doubt Dragonstar will be pretty big too. So possibly round 5 matchup between Doubt and Margougou where the loser is relegated and the winner survives. Both players would love to relegate the other. I have talked to both of them. I think they've got a lot of respect for one another deep down, but when they speak, it's all trash talk between those two. So we'll see.